Hi everyone, Marcos here from 3Dsurvey. Today you are joining the webinar What's New in 2.16 3Dsurvey latest version. We will start this webinar in short, so let's wait a couple of more minutes to join all other attendees. We have already a great number, so I will be back with you soon. Thank you for your patience. Hi everyone, Mark again here from 3Dsurvey team. Today you are on webinar What's New in 2.16 and we will start with this webinar in short. I would like to show you quite a lot of new exciting things we implemented for the latest version which is already available. We have already a great number of attendees, so just let's wait 2 or 3 minutes more to join also all the others, and then we will start with this webinar. In meantime, just to let you know, so you have there a chat option, so you can write your questions or answers or suggestions in chat box. I will check those questions then at the end of the webinar and try to explain and answer your questions. So let's wait 2 or 3 minutes more and we will start then with this webinar. Thank you for your patience. Okay, hello again. For ones who already joined in addition, hello again. My name is Marko. I'm from 3Dsurvey team, and today I'm here to present you the new version 2.60 of 3Dsurvey. So I'm super excited to share all those news with you. Maybe you already see some material on our Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram channel. But now you can check out these things live on the real presentation. This webinar is going to be recorded, so you will also get a recording link, so you can watch the webinar again if you need it or something like that. In addition, on the webinar platform, you also have a chat box, so you have options to write your questions. So please feel free to write it during the webinar, and I will answer them at the end of the webinar if there will be some questions. Please feel free to write your questions there. The webinar duration will be approximately 45 minutes. First 50 minutes, I have prepared a short PowerPoint presentation just to go quickly over the new top functions of 3Dsurvey version, which is now available for 4 days. And then we will see these functions in a live presentation, so you will have a good feeling how it works, how the functions were designed to use them, and so on. So let's start with my PowerPoint presentation. So here you can already see the main new feature listed below. So definitely the first one is CAD drawing with image support. Super important one. We spent quite a lot of time for developing, testing, and so on, because it's super important mainly for surveying and construction business, because this just offers you a next level of accuracy in case you are extracting CAD models out from 3D models. So if we're using our CAD engine and drawing lines, creating points, and so on, probably you will be very happy to see this function. And I will show you this more in addition. Then the second function is additional target support. So till now, we've been using mainly 3Dsurvey targets. Now because based on your feedback, some of customers use also checkerboard targets, so actually 2 black squares and 2 white squares. And with the new version, you can actually also use automatic orientation in case you use that kind of targets. Then fully new aPretext target support is also there. So these are so-called coded targets where every target has a specific name and it's different to another target. And this offers you fully automatic orientation, actually. You will see where the implementation of this function is possible in a next presentation. Then the third main point is apply transformation to entire project. What does it mean? So if you were playing with videogrammetry, which was the latest blockbuster, so that you record the video, extract frames, and create the models, then usually these models are not orientated correctly and not scaled well. So with this function, you will see it's a next step. You can also transform the entire project with you. So before, you've been able to transform just the single object like a point cloud or mesh. No, you actually transform the complete project. So if you rotate the mesh, then you will also additionally rotate point cloud cameras and everything else. Then another great improvement is also Cad Data Export. If you have number of layers when you are connecting a survey map and you would like to export then just a single layer, now you can do this really quickly. And nevertheless, we know that the drone lidars are more and more popular in a drone world. And in case you have a high forest or something like that, like power line cables or something like that, the lidars are super nice things. Also, we improved our classification, which now also really nicely works from the point clouds, from the lidar, and you can really nicely extract terrain level in between forest. Okay, and if we check the first top feature of this version, CAD drawing with image support, you can see on the left side already some images. So we would say sometimes it's really difficult to extract some specific details from the point cloud or mesh accurately. If the mesh is not generated perfectly, then it's almost impossible to get some accurate detail out of it, and you need to go and measure it traditional way with total station or GNSS devices. And these new improvements definitely solves this issue. So building corners, roof ridges or road curbs are just some of those examples which you can really nicely extract with the help of CAD drawing on images. Using these functions, I would say there is no additional terrestrial measurements needed with the CAD drawing on images. So you can actually create 100 precise model with 3D survey photogrammetry. So we are super happy about this function. Works really nice, and there's no other way than you can test also later on by yourself and see how powerful this thing is. We would say this feature actually revolutionized the way you draw the most detailed plans. Let's spend quite a bit more time later in a real case presentation and go further with the PowerPoint presentation. So the second point, we are really proud also on it. We add additional support on different targets. As you probably already know, 3D survey target is black dot on white plate. It's still there. It's still super accurate and robust. You can fly from 40 to 100 meters, and with the standard 3D survey targets, which you get in a package and dimension 30 per 30 centimeters, works very well. But we get quite a lot of data set from our customers which were using checkerboard targets, which are targets in upper left corner. That's why we decided to support also automatic orientation in case you have those kind of targets. And this is now available. It's super robust. I would say it works the same. It works great, the same as with the 3D survey targets. So if you have that kind of targets, feel free to use them. And then fully new targets are actually hypertext targets. You can see one sample of these targets in the lower left corner. So the benefit of this target is that it's automatically recognized. So you don't need to even click first 3 targets because the software immediately see, okay, this is target point name 1, this is target point name 2, and so on. What's not so good with this target is if you would like to fly really high, let's say 80 meters, you would need to have big targets like half meter or even bigger. So I would say if you use the same dimension as a 3D survey target, but hypertext design, you could get sufficient results if you fly up to 40-meter height or something like that. Nevertheless, you can also combine those targets in addition and find your own workflow. So quite a lot of improvements also in orientation step, and you will see this also later in 3D survey. Okay, next one, apply transformation for a time project. You can see me here walking in the rain, holding one RTK device, and my mobile phone is mounted up there. I'm doing the recording, and then with the help of videogrammetry, we get actually precise 3D model also with. And this applied transformation to entire project is connected with this workflow. So you will see in software what brings you this benefit and so on. Then another application where you could use this is, let's say, Mavic Mini without ground control points, that you measure just one distance on a field. So let's say the dimension of the road is 5 meters, and then later on you can scale your model, you can orientate your model based on these known distances. Okay, let's see also this later in real presentation. Then Cad Export data, it's now available. So before, if you have, let's say, 20 or 50 layers when you're drawing a CAD sketch, and then you just like to export a single layer out of this, like let's say road or something like that, you couldn't do that. You could export a DXF file with a complete layer list inside. Now you have also ability just to select a single layer, export it, and import it in other software like AutoCAD or something like that. I will show you this also later. And the 5th improvements of this version is optimized classification for drone lidars. On image here you can see the DJI L1 solution. Then even more powerful, I think, is Velodyne lidar. If you have options to test it, you will probably see. And any other lidar, also not a drone lidar actually. So we improved the classification. There's additional checkbox, and you will see that you just check, okay, I have a leader point cloud, and then we are looking for lowest points and so on. The algorithms works a bit differently and gives you actually great results of the classification. Okay, this was all more or less about my PowerPoint. Once again, if there are some questions, please don't wait, don't hesitate to write them already now in the chat box, and I will answer them at the end of the presentation. And right now, I will immediately go to my real presentation in 3D Survey 2.60. You can see it right here. So my first example is actually for CAD drawing with image support. And here I have one small example which we do with Mavic Mini 1 drone. This is from a company which are doing solar panels, and before they do a solar plant, they need to fly over the object of interest, map it, that they get accurate dimensions of the roof, and if there are some additional objects on the roof that they can see and nicely plan it. So as you can see, we fly a standard grid. If we check the sparse point cloud results, it looks like so. Then later on, we also generated point cloud from this one. Again, we just do a quick flight over the area, so they don't need any facade or anything like that. This is more than enough. For there, it was important to have the model as soon as possible, so minimum images. fastest processing. And if you look mesh, it looks like so. So the quality, of course, is not the best one because we have no side images, but for them, this is more than good enough. And then the main point of this first presentation is when you go actually to Cad, and you can create a new layer. So let's say roof. I will make this layer active. I will set the red color. It will be nicely visible. Thickness to 3. And now when I go to drawing a line tool and let's say snap on the roof, I immediately get on the left side a new window with all images which are available for this vertex position. You can see the images are sorting immediately based on perspective you were viewing, so it's super nicely designed. You have option here to extend it, and now I can actually improve my position already during the drawing. So like that, I'm just using the left mouse click and rotating the model and then show the exact position of this point actually on 3D image. And immediately when I move, also in a 3D model, this point location is optimized, is recalculated and shown in a 3D. So super powerful function for drawing. Also, in case you have bad models, so where the corners are not nicely designed in the model, or if the point cloud is not perfect, you can now actually accurately draw with the help of image support. So again, I just click really quickly on a 3D model. Here I will go and improve the position. I would say improve the position on 2 images, and this is actually more than enough for the accurate 3D position recalculation. Then you can extend actually, sorry, let's delete the last point with delete button. What you can do in addition, you can extend this window. You can have 2x2 image or 3x3 image, anything like that. Then you have a quick zoom for all images, like here with the slider up. If you go inside, you can zoom in a specific one. With the left mouse click, again, you improve the position. And in this case, you're getting more accurate positions for your drawing images. Then, if you like to put this window into a separate screen, let's say you have 2 screens, you can just grab it and put it to another screen or something like that. When you bring it back, you just attach it back. So in this way, for example, let me finish this line. For example, if you are drawing a basic line on a road and you don't want to see actually where the positions of 3D points or lines are, you can simply just close down this window and continue drawing with you. The icon for images were blinking here, remembering you, okay, if you like, open me and so on, and continue drawing. And when you like, you just open it back and go and improve your position here on image. So you see, I improved a single position and all other actually it was improved. So what's the main benefit also here is definitely that image is the basic material which you put inside in the processing, and it's always the resolution of image is always the best one. So the point cloud cannot have that kind good of resolution. 3D texture, 3D mesh, because of texture, that cannot have that kind of resolution. So I would say if you need really accurate position, this is must have, and with this you can extract super hard details out from 3D model and with the help of photogrammetry. Okay, let's just quickly continue the other measurements. So you can also first just quickly connect lines and then go and select the vertex and improve the position, or you do this immediately already during the during the drawing. So more options are here available. Okay, cool. Actually, with the help of this tool, I could really quickly, super accurately extract my details for CAD drawings and save this as a DXF or anything like that. Okay, cool. So really quickly about this one. Then just for your idea, if they would need this roof dimension even quicker, with the help of new functions, they could do this super simple also. So imagine you don't have a point cloud and you don't have a mesh. Let me turn on also this one, so that you have just a bundle adjustment, and bundle adjustment for 47 images take me approximately 2 minutes on my computer, on my laptop computer. And what I could do, I could immediately click convert to point cloud, and I have my sparse point cloud in a point cloud view. And then with the help of this feature, I could actually reconstruct all the detail, even if I don't have created model already in a nice point cloud or nice textured 3D mesh. So actually, I'm drawing in 3D without the real 3D model support, and this speeds up the complete process really, really fast in case you need something super quick. Okay, let me turn back this one. I did just a super quick, but hopefully you can imagine how it goes. Okay, this was a short presentation. Let's go to my another project, so maybe a bit bigger one, and present you the same function in a bit different way, where we actually need to export out building corners. So here's my second site. In this case, we've been using Phantom 4 RTK drone. We need to map this house and extract out survey map from this house. Without any traditional data, we actually managed to do it with the help of this function, because I was trying to get super nice 3D model out. I did some additional side images. As you can see, the blue pyramids, which are actually camera positions, where I triggered the camera, and as a result, also a nice point cloud came out. So it looks like so. And then full 3D mesh, just a couple of seconds to get texture out of it. And from this one, I can actually extract all the detail out of it. If I zoom to curb, so you can see you can have a curb model actually in a 3D. And if I go now to CAD and just really quickly connect out this detail. So let's put also points on it. Again, I can use additionally this image support, maybe zoom in addition, and super quickly just extract out detail. So it gives you quite a bit of safety also. If you just quickly select something and here you're not 100% sure, you can additionally zoom in here and check the position super accurately. And the curve was easy way in this situation. So let's check how it goes with the corners here. So maybe again with the 3D model, I'm not super sure where here it is, but actually here the corner was nicely generated, so it was easy work for me. But here on another side, the model, the building model, is not looking so perfect. Let me try to give you some different view styles here, so shading and grid mode in addition. So maybe we need to decide it here in a centimeters or 2-3 centimeters. I'm not sure. The model here is definitely not the perfect one, but with the help of this new function, you can zoom in, correct the position. When I'm moving it to another one, you can see I can maybe nicer see where the exact position is, and double check this one also on images. And in this way, you can super fast, safe, accurate, create new 3D points, generate 3D lines, and so on. Okay, I just did a quick overview about this one. Let's go to other exciting features in addition. So this is more or less all about CAD drawing on image support. And let's go to another example. Let's see if there are some questions already available. No questions. Yes. Okay, just to remind you, if there are some questions, please feel free. It's a live webinar, so we can discuss here. Use this opportunity, definitely. And okay, I'm going to my second example. Okay, and this is actually a checkerboard orientation. Let's open the right project to show you how it works. So till now, you've been able to do the orientation with the 3D survey targets or any detail points like manholes, road marks, or anything like that. Based on your feedback, we saw that some of the customers are using different also target design, and beside the 3D survey target, the checkerboard target was also very popular. That's why we decided to add it also to 3D survey. And here you can see actually how this target looks like from 60-meter height, from 80-meter height with the Phantom 4 Pro, Phantom 4 RTK, so actually 20 megapixel camera, you still get sufficient quality of the image if the targets are 30 per 30 centimeters. If you go on 100 meters or a bit higher, could be a bit problematic if you have strong sun or too dark images. I would say that 3D survey targets are still more robust because the pattern it's easier. It's just like a black dot. But nevertheless, if you already use those targets, used to use them, feel free to continue. And the workflow it's actually pretty the same as with the 3D survey target. So we place, I think, 8 targets on this area. Here is another one. And if I go to orientate with GCP and import those targets. Oh, let me just check that this is, okay. Let me first reset orientation. And actually I need to check a board before already. Okay, so this is the right project because this one is already orientated. Now you see the targets are not still yet here. So I will go orientate with GCP. The workflow is fully the same as with the 3D survey targets, so no special things in addition. You import the images, and then here is a small difference. Before you have just 3D survey targets and checkpoints, now you have different targets types. So circle, AperTech, checkerboard, and manual. In this case, I will set checkerboard. This is the dimension of complete target. When I click next, I'm in the orientation wizard. Here, I just need to show 3 targets, the same as with 3D survey target design. So I help the software and try to find 3 of them. Okay, next image. Here is another one. And after I select the third one, all other are based on the geometry search, automatic detected. We will see them colored with green color, green circle. And because we have here the detect GCP targets on, when I click next, the algorithm now search for this kind of design targets, and in a short we will have results of our search, and you can see it here. Most of the targets are super nicely recognized. If some of them are under the trees, the software immediately exclude them. If I zoom in, you will see the detection, it's almost perfect. If you would like to improve the position for specific target, you can still use a left mouse click, but I think 99.9% of them are so perfectly centered that you couldn't do manually better. Some of them, like this one, was eliminated, not sure why. Maybe yes, it's not the image is not perfect, but if you like, you can turn it on and so on. So here, just check it, the same like with the 3D survey target. When you are satisfied, click on next, and the orientation is performing. And this is already the complete workflow for an orientation with the checkerboard targets. Okay, cool. When I click finish, you see the model is orientated based on those targets. Okay, this was a checkerboard example. I have also another example with a April tax. Let me open this project. So a bit different one. You could use also April tax for the drone projects. If you have dimension 30 per 30, I would advise you to fly up to 40-meter high, because if you go higher, the pixel does not cover the good resolution of the target anymore. If you like to go higher, you need to print bigger targets, or maybe combine them with the 3D survey targets. So if you like, let's say you have just a 3 April tags and 7 3D survey targets, you could maybe fly lower on a area with April tags and detect them automatically, and then also all other 3D survey targets which would be captured from the 80 meters would be also automatically detected. So maybe a bit complicated to explain you, but also that kind of combination would work actually. But let me show you before the workflow with the April tags targets. So here we actually did a videogrammetry. We capture a short video about this object of interest. Pardon me. Then from the video we extract frames. As you can see, we use this April tag mat. We replaced this sculpture on it, and it has a great texture that connects also then later cameras together, and all around are those April tags targets. Those kind of mat you can get actually on our web page. If you go under the downloads, then you have here all the download material, and you will find this mat somewhere here also. So actually here under the other, you have A3 April tag mat and A4 April tag mat. Okay, after the bundle adjustment, this is the result of our sculpture. So all of the images are successfully bundle adjustment. And let's go to orientation with GCP data. I will browse for my coordinates. Those coordinates are in addition with this map. So when you downloaded the A3 or A4 map, then you also get the GCP file in addition. And if you're doing some culture heritage documentation for small sculptures and anything like that, this is a super automatic way to do the complete orientation and modeling. Okay, let me select this file, click open. Here are the coordinates. We actually scale this map to meter size, not to centimeter size, because then the object in 3D, it's a bit bigger, it's easier for rotating it and so on. So you can scale it down to the centimeter later on, no problem. Okay, let's import those coordinates. And then again, the same as before, you have here a different target type. No, I have hypertext. If I would have some different in addition, I would just go and change some specific here. So you can have combination of them, and still you have here validation option and everything else like it was before. Okay, in this case our hypertext, and what's here the big difference? Every hypertext has a specific number, and this number recognizes our software, and when you click here next, you don't need to show 3 targets to the software. Now everything is happening here automatically, and you see all targets are immediately colored blue, the center of them. And then in addition, when I go to the next, I get images on which cameras, on which images are all those targets. Again, everything it's more or less perfect centered, so you couldn't do manually better. No option, so just confirm with next and get the orientation result, which will be here in short. Okay, couple of more seconds, and here we have the results. Super accurate. Let's click on finish, and our small sculpture is orientated here immediately, and we are ready for reconstruction. So again, hypertext, super interesting things. If you have small sites like one house, one building house, just place them down, measure them with GPS. Don't forget to get the right name for the hypertext, so which is written on the target, and this is it, fully automatically. In this way, you could also use our batch processing workflow. So if you have hypertext, you can import images, go to orientation, import GCPs, and then all those steps are actually processed fully automatically till the end of the 3D model. So import images, click run, drink your coffee or go out and come back, and your model is ready. Okay, cool. If there are questions, feel free to write them in a chat box. I will go on with our third improvements of new version, and this is applied transformation to entire project. Let me prepare my project here, and I think this is the right one. Okay, another videogrammetry project. So I also create just a short video here from this site. At that time, we didn't have this handheld device with the RTK position, so actually there are no position of those frames. And as you can see, we have here 590 frames, which the software extract from the video. My idea was here, without the drone, document this site for later purposes, and also maybe for calculating out how much material they need to bring away in addition, and so on. And this was done with the 3 minutes of video. I was just walking around up and down and did some circle, so actually super simple. And after the bundle adjustment, that kind of model came out. The blue are actually camera positions, and here we can see some sparse point cloud. And then in the next step, the point cloud came out, and it looks like so. You can see it. And of course, next step, it's texture 3D mesh. It looks like so. And I could use already this data for the volume calculation, actually. But before, I need to scale this model and orientate this model accurately, because you see now the cameras and the complete model, it's twisted a bit. And what I could do now, I could orientate accurately with some GCP point, but in this case I don't have it with me, so I could just rotate the model based on some plane and scale it based on some known distance, and with the help of transform tool. So right mouse click on my mesh, click on transform, the transform wizard pops up. And then I could change here the values and rotate the model like so. The other option is I grab my corner with the right mouse click, I think. Yes, with the right mouse click and rotate it like so. Let's zoom in, maybe a bit back. So I'm helping me with this center cross. I'm panning up and down. Yes, I think it's more or less sufficient for this purpose, more or less. And you see, I orientate the model now in addition, but the cameras are still the same. And the same way goes with the 2.15 version. Now we add this checkbox, apply transformation to project. So it means also rotate with the same parameters, camera position, sparse point cloud, CAD data, point clouds, and full 3D mesh. And if I will confirm this one, the transformation will change, and also cameras were rotated with this step, and also the point cloud was transformed with the same parameters. And now if I go and do the texturing again, everything works together. So this is super nice improvement. So happy to have also this in addition. So if you were playing with such advanced functions, now you have also this available. Again, if there are some questions connected with this, feel free to ask. I will answer this at the end of the webinar. And let's go to our fourth improvements, Cad Data Export. Let me open just a new project. And let me import one DXF file. So I go to data, load CAD, and here is, I think, a survey map, the one we created. I think it was created in AutoCAD or something like that. Let's maybe just turn off these numbers. So Staube, this one, and then in addition, OTS, this one. Okay, cool. And as you can see it here, so we have a survey map with a number of different layers, so like cadastre measurements, like building measurements, some power lines, some water pipes, and electricity, and everything in addition. And imagine you would connect this in a 3D survey, and then you would just like export just buildings, not everything, not the complete DXF. Now you can easily do this. Just go after under the data, save CAD as, and let's say buildings, select the DXF file, click on saved, and immediately the new pop-up window came up, and you have here listed all the layers. And before, you need to export all of them and then delete them in AutoCAD or similar CAD software. Now you can deselect them here. On even faster, if you need to export just a single layer, use this function that you click here where you selector or deselector, and then just export layer you would like to export it. So currently I'm not sure which one is. Let me check again. So the red buildings. So Ostau terrain. Let's go again. Save CAD as buildings. The DXF layer. Save. Deselect all. And find my layer here. Okay, these are, and save. And currently I create a new DXF. If I open it with Autodesk Viewer, just to show you the result of this one. Voila, here we have just buildings which we exported from 3Dsurvey. Okay, so super simple and super efficient. This feature also coming from the user feedback. So if you have some suggestions, you would like to have them in 3Dsurvey, please send us mail, write us during the webinar or something like that. Probably then it will take quite a time, but sooner or later this will be developed in addition. Okay, questions again, welcome. If you have them, write them in checkbox. I will come to them in, let's say, less than 10 minutes. And let me show you the last but not least improvements. So classification improvements for Lidar dataset. So let me open the right one project to show you this. So as you know, 3Dsurvey has a really nice classification, super simple one, super quick one, but super effective. So you can do the classification on a terrain point and everything else, and works really nice for photogrammetry data. But in case you have a LiDAR data in a forest area, we couldn't find terrain under the trees because point cloud from photogrammetry didn't have that kind of points. But now with the help of Lidar devices on drone, you could actually get enough points also in case you have a tight forest like here. Probably you can see a lot of trees are here, but if you go under it, you can see some points are still visible under it. Maybe let me give you a height map. Not sure if with the bounding box the height map is recalculated. Probably not. No. Okay. But nevertheless, the idea is to get terrain points on the trees also with our classification. And that's why actually this was created with a DJI L1 LiDAR scan. In this case, we have 190 million of points, quite a lot for this kind of area. If we see the detail of the Lidar point cloud or the L1, it's not bad, but photogrammetry is, let's say, 5 times better for open areas. But nevertheless, if you need points under the trees like here, so you would like to have points here under the trees, you would probably need to have also LiDAR in addition. Okay, and of course then good software to classify it. And let me show you how it works. I just click on classification. Now the point cloud is preparing for classification. This will take a couple of seconds because we have 190 million of points. Let me just wait. I'm doing the presentation on a laptop computer, so this is quite a hard work right now for my laptop, but okay, it works nice. And the big difference is now here. In addition to standard classification parameters, you have also options now here. Checkbox, point cloud from laser scanning data. By default, this is off because mainly most of you are still doing photogrammetry. But if you have a LiDAR data, don't forget to turn on this checkbox and go to next step. And the workflow for classification is actually continuously fully the same as with photogrammetry software. The point cloud is now preparing it for classification based on those parameters. Then in the next step, I will need to show at least one terrain point. So I will do this here where the open area is visible and most of the area is already colored with selected points. I will click again once here and then click the next button to continue the step of classification. Now with the help of 2 selected points, we defined actually some areas. Now we are looking which points are on the upper side and which are on the lower side. What's the actually step between points, the angle between them, and all those parameters. And based all on those geometric parameters, we're trying to find out the terrain points, and the result is here. And as you can see, all colored points are detected as a terrain points. And what's interesting, also here beneath the forest, we found out few of terrain points. If I go to finish to see the result in 3Dsurvey, and No, deselect here never classified, and deselect unassigned. You'll quickly see that we successfully find out quite a lot of points under the trees. Okay, if I turn trees back on, you see here we have trees. Here we don't have. And now I can super quickly generate a regular grid mesh. Okay, calculate. Couple of more seconds to see the result. I will color this one with a red color. Okay, I will put shading on and maybe wireframe that you can see it nicely. Wireframe maybe off. Okay, just shading on. And now if I go to point cloud, let's add the trees. Okay, and when I go to Cad, now you can nicely see this terrain under the trees and how nicely we actually detect the terrain points beside the forest points. Okay, let's play a bit quickly with the bounding box just to show you here the result. So in this way you can get a super nice result with the help of new classification. Okay, on if I use the shift and right mouse click, control and right mouse click, you can slide it down. Let's focus again on the forest area because this is now our point of interest. You can see that the classification perform super nicely below the forest. Okay, cool. So this was short introduction about new exciting features of 3D Survey 2.16. Now it's right time to set your questions if you still didn't, and I will answer them one by one. If there are some suggestions, feel free to write them, and yes, let me go and see the question box if we have some questions. Okay, Daniel Delsa, is it possible to use different camera in the same project? Yes, of course it's possible. So 3D Survey cover any camera, any device. So just import all the images in the same project and do the processing. So for example, you can use drone to do drone imagery, and actually you can create a video and extract some frames from the same area, then run the frame extractor in 3D Survey, and then copy those frames into same project where you have drone data and import all of them in the same project, and that's it. So not a problem. You can combine more cameras, works super nice. We have also quite a lot of webinars about this one, so feel free to go to our new web page and find under the support webinars. You will find those webinars here, or just send us a support email and we will help you in addition also with this. Okay, thank you, Daniel, for your questions. Let's go to Sophie. Sophie is asking, can we use this videogrammetry in addition to an existing point cloud? Example, I missed some details and someone sent me a movie instead of going back to the site. Yes, so the same question, a big question connected with the previous answers. Yes, you could do also that, of course. So you can also process it separately. And then with the combination of known points, you can orientate the videogrammetry result with the drone mapping result. So what I would do, I would open a drone, for example, drone project, and if something is missing, then the part of it is missing. So maybe let's open one example. Okay, we could actually continue with this one. So if I click continue, let's say, okay, let's focus on this detail. So let's say I did a drone survey of this part, and this facade is missing and it's super important for you. What I would do, okay, please record the video about this facade. You need probably 30 seconds or something like that, and send me the video. And then with the help of this point cloud, I would prepare me at least 3 points to orientate the videogrammetry project. So go to Cad, go to, let me turn this one off, go to Cad, go to new point generator, and design 3 points. If this would be a project with photogrammetry, you would see these images actually, these points actually on images, or maybe let me open again the previous project so to explain you better. So maybe a better example for your answers. So you don't have facade here around, go and record the video around the building and process it separately, and then you can import it here in addition. And to generate out points from this model, let me work just on point cloud now. I would go to Cad, create new points, and let's say here should be the focus on one point. So another one here. Oh, sorry. If you would connect it this with line, you could place it even accurately than with this one. And then use just for orientation the same points later on also in videogrammetry. So for example, you don't see any detail here. Okay, maybe let this wooden thing below here. Okay, if I place the point here, I need to draw a line actually, so yeah. Okay, if I draw a line here and go and improve the position, I would say, okay, here is my point number 3. It's just super quickly. Okay, so in this and move this point here. With this, I would create me actually local GCPs for your videogrammetry project. Maybe I was not the most clear enough, but yes, I tried to answer it. So you could actually combine those things. Okay, cool. Jurica Knego is writing, hello everybody, sorry for the delay. No problem, Jurica. So you have recording of these webinars, so you will get it in 1 hour or something like that. So you can join it and watch the recording. And if there are some questions, feel free to write them also in our support email. Okay, guys, those are all of your questions. Okay, one more, I think. Is it possible to import 3D models into 3Dsurvey to show existing and new in the building blocks of making movie? The viewing option in 3Dsurvey are very useful. Yes, it's possible. And we already have this webinar actually in a previous version. What's new in 2.15? Check this out. So it's actually super easy. You just go and import the model. If you go mesh, load, and import OBJ model. Okay, so the OBJ file format is for the for the objects, and then you can place them anywhere, scale them, rotate them, position them with the transform function. This is actually also available in one of our webinar. I think this is actually what's new in 2.15 or something like that. So let me find quickly where this webinar is. So it's somewhere here on the webinar page, or we can also help you then later on one-on-one if you need this help in addition. Okay, another question. Jerry Hammond is asking, how did you turn on the images to select image features for CAD? So actually the images are turned on automatically. So immediately when you select a drawing tool, okay, so by default, no are hidden. I will turn that back if I click this icon, but otherwise, if you start a new project, so let me open this project again, that we will start from default. So when you are in CAD tab, and immediately when you start, when you select a draw engine, draw function, and you click the first button, this window pops up immediately. But of course, you need to have 2.16 version. In 2.15, this is not yet available. So this comes up, and when you close this one down, then the small icon is here. It's kind of beeping up to remember you, okay, you still have me here available. And if you click back on this icon, you come back with the image support, and in this way you can help it. If you draw something incorrectly, like I did it here, I snap on the roof, just backspace on your keyboard and you will delete last point. So it's super quick and so on. Okay, let's check once again the questions. I think this is it. So again, thank you for listening. We finished this webinar presentation on time. Hopefully you like these improvements, and happy to see you in our next webinar, or I would also warmly invite you to our Intergeo exhibition. So we will be there from Tuesday till Thursday. So feel free to visit us on the booth. If you need free tickets, write it to our info me email, and we will support you with free Intergeo tickets. And yes, thank you again for visiting, and happy 3D surveying. Bye.